In our today's class, we'll be studying about air pollution. So, briefly looking into the contents of air pollution, here we can see in today's lecture, we can see air pollution definition, then the pollutants and its definition, sources of air pollution, the effects of air pollution, and the possible remedies or the solutions for air pollution. And one of the major domain of air pollution is airborne infections that are going to cover under today's video. So air pollution. If we closely observe about the air pollution, it could be pollution in any kind, like introduction of any particulate matter. It could be biological molecule or other harmful material into the Earth's atmosphere, possibly causing diseases, even deaths to human, damage to other living beings, such as food, crop, or natural or other built environment. It all sum up to the air pollution section. Now, all these things or the elements which are causing air pollution or even causing pollution are termed as pollutants. So, pollutants could be defined as the elements, molecules, or the particles involved in pollution that can harm when exposed to these materials and that can affect humans, plants, are termed as pollutants. Now, pollutants could be introduced into environment in many ways. Like it could be in the form of natural things or they can be human made. Air pollution emissions emitted from various industries are the major cause for air pollution and are the major concern for environmental degradation or leading to pollution. These emissions could be of two types. That is, it could be in solid form, that is SPM, and gaseous emission, those are aerosols. Thus, air pollutants can be solid particles, liquid droplets, and gases. They can be natural and they can be man made, that is, anthropogenic also. Now, classifying these particles, pollutants, into two sections that could be primary category, secondary category. If we talk about the primary pollutants, they are directly emitted from the processes such as fossil fuels, consumptions, and then volcanic eruptions, factories. The major primary pollutants are oxides of sulfur, oxides of nitrogen, oxides of carbon, then particulate matters, even methane, ammonia, chlorofluorocarbons, and other toxic metals. Coming to the secondary pollutants, they are not emitted directly. The secondary pollutants form when primary pollutants react with themselves and other component of the atmosphere and the environment get into touch with it. Most important, secondary level air pollutants are ground level zones like smog, POP, etc. So these could be in the two categories, pollutants of air pollution, primary and secondary. Now, if we talk about the sources of air pollution, again, they can be considered into two sections. That is, one of them is man-made, that is anthropogenic sources. And those all can be categorized such as stationary sources, which are in the form of industries, as you can see. And then mobile sources, which are in the form of vehicles, automobiles. Then if you see about the fumes coming out of the industries, waste deposition on the land, and the military resources. All these resources are man-made resources or man-made pollutants of air pollution, which are caused due to human activities. Now, the sources of air pollution, which are natural in the environment, those are forest fires, volcanic eruption, dust storms, even cyclones, even earthquakes, and they can also include landslides also. Now, all these activities, whether they are human, man-made activities, or natural calamities, they all affect the atmosphere, surrounding environment, and thus hampering the life directly or indirectly of humans and all the living beings associated So there are certain effects, even adverse effect of air pollution. Those could be summarized as follows. First of all, respiratory and health problems. It causes respiratory damage and it creates heart problems. Like the effect of air pollution are alarming as they are to create several respiratory and heart diseases along with cancer among other threats to the body also. Now, if we talk about one of the major reason that is global warming or greenhouse effect, it increases with the increase in temperature, increases in the sea levels, in melting of ice from colder region, and icebergs, displacement and loss of habitats are also due to the rise in the air pollution level. Next one is acidic rain. Due to air pollution, after respiratory and heart problems to living beings, global warming impact all over the surrounding environment. Third one could be summarized as acid rain. Harmful gases like nitrogen oxides and sulfur oxides are released into the atmosphere during the burning of fossil fuels. And when it rains, the water droplets combines with these air pollutants, become acidic, and then falls on the ground in the form of acid rain. And acid rain cause great damage to the human, animals, and plants even. It also leads to eutrophication. It's a condition or it's a term where high amount of nitrogen present in some pollutants get developed on sea surface and turns into algae and adversely affect fish, plants and animal species over there. So that's how it is affecting the aquatic life also. Next one is effect on the wildlife. If you see the toxic chemicals present in the air can force wildlife species to move to a new place and change their habitat. The toxic pollutant deposit over the surface of water and can also affect the sea animals, as you saw in the eutrophication section. Now it leads to depletion of ozone layer, which is a protective shield, the atmosphere for the living being. Earth's ozone layer is depleting due to the presence of chlorofluorocarbons, hydrofluorocarbons in the atmosphere. As the ozone layer will get thin, it will emit harmful rays back to the earth and can cause skin diseases, eye related problems. Because ultraviolet rays also have the capability to affect the crop also. After seeing these adverse effects of air pollution, let us move towards the solution of air pollution. What could be the major or the next solution we could opt for reducing air pollution or for diminishing air pollution? So, as you can see in our day to day life, we can develop a habit and make it clear that following aspects should be there within our surroundings, like we need to invest in energy efficient power generations in our day to day life, improve domestic, industrial, and municipal waste management. That is, we can opt at our homes, at our workplaces, at our schools and colleges. Now, for if you see towards the construction industry or infrastructure of any city or any nation, let's move toward making greener and more compact cities with energy efficient buildings. Now, the next could be reduce agricultural waste, combustion, forest fire, and certain agroforestry activities should be reduced. Also, we can provide universal access to cleanness, affordable fuels, and technologies for cooking, heating, and lighting, thereby building a safe and affordable public transportation system could be one of the best or major solution which we can do, because these automobiles or moving vehicles are creating more air pollution in the atmosphere. And then pedestrians and cycle friendly networks could lead to a good and healthy lifestyle. Along with these remedies, we have certain devices through which air pollution could be reduced. And there could be a few enlisted over here. Like these are the following pollution control devices to destroy contaminants which are being entrapped in those devices, and they remove them from an exhaust stream before it emit into the atmosphere. And those are listed as electrostatic precipitators. They have squarish plates, cyclonic separators. They try to pull the air of the surrounding in a cyclonic pattern and trap the air pollutants. Then the houses could be formed. And next one, particulate scrubbers could be used for a small scale air pollution reduction. Next, moving towards the airborne infections or the direct or adverse effect of air pollution on human health. All the airborne diseases is any disease that is caused by pathogens and transmitted through the air. These pathogens are viruses, bacteria, fungi, and they may spread through coughing, sneezing, even raising of dust, spraying of liquid, or similar activities. Airborne pathogens or allergens often causes inflammation in noses, throats, sinuses, and the lungs. As we have discussed, they causes air pollution causes severe damage to the respiratory system and the heart diseases. This is caused by the inhalation of these pathogens like bacteria and fungi and viruses that affect a person's respiratory system or even the rest of the body, because entire body is related to one and another system of the body. If we closely observe, sinus congestion, coughing, and sore throats are examples of inflammation of upper respiratory airways due to these airborne agents. Many common infections can spread through airborne transmission such as chickenpox, influenza, measles, smallpox, and even tuberculosis. The causes, as discussed, are major exposure to the source and infected patient or animal we come into contact, and by being transferred from one infected person to animal's mouth, even to nose, or even the cuts or needle punctures could be there. People receive the diseases through a portal of entry, mouth, nose, cut, or needle punctures. These are the causes. Now, what are the preventory measures which we can take? They include like washing hands, using appropriate hand sanitizers, getting regular immunization against diseases believed to be locally present, wearing a respirator, and limiting the time spent in the presence of any patient likely to be a source of infection. Those could be the minimal thing or basic things you can use or prevent. We can prevent from getting infected from airborne diseases. It's all. If you want to go through the PPTs, content of the PPT, these are the images and the links. Thank you.